Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Joy.
And we're back not for a book haul, but
we're here to tell you about our absolute favorite reads of 2019. So this is Penguin Teen Best of, according to James and Joy. So James, what is your first favorite read of 2019?
My first favorite pick of 2019 was a finalist for the National Book Awards. So, it's gotten some love.
It's a big deal.
Pretty big deal. It's Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Rabai. Its protagonist is Jay Regro, a 17-year-old Filipino-American. When his cousin is murdered in the Philippines and his family doesn't want to talk about what happened to him, Jay travels from Michigan to the Philippines to unearth the true story. It's perfect for fans of The Hate U Give, Anger is a Gift, and books about standing up to injustice.
So if you could describe Patron Saints of Nothing in 3 words, what would they be?
My 3 words for this book would be riveting, resilient, and painfully real. I know that's technically 4 words, but I'm just gonna go with it.
So my first pick of 2019 is The Last Voyage of Poe Blythe by Ali Condi. I loved this book for how different it was. Chapter 1, spoiler alert, the love interest dies on the 2nd page.
What?
2nd page.
2nd page,
I didn't see it coming, but it's unpredictable, and that's one of the reasons I love this book. It hits you with a plot twist in the 1st chapter, so that's number 1. But number 2, I really like Poe. She's really cool, and I love that she's not necessarily driven by just this vengeance thing, but she's just bitter about the entire world. And she's learning to cope, and she's finding new reasons to hope, and
we all feel that way sometimes.
Hey, mood. But it makes her character arc really interesting and different from what I think you normally see. So that's number 2. But number 3, it's pretty hard to make me cry. I don't very often cry when I read a book, and this book really got me. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's a moment at the end, and it really got me.
And if you had to choose 3 words to describe this book, what would you choose?
So my 3 words for this book are gutting, unpredictable, and hopeful.
It's a good combo.
There's a lot going on in this one. Number 2.
So my next pick for 2019 is Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. It's the queer coming of age story that I really wish I had growing up, and the romance in this book is so wholesome, everyone. You just really need to read it. Roxane Gay also loved it. She's one of my favorite writers of all time, and she said that it was bleep outstanding. I can't actually say what the word bleep is on camera, but
it's on the book.
It's on the book.
And if you could describe it in 3 words.
Unapologetic, laugh out loud funny, and empowering.
Breaking the rules again, but good words.
It's the end of the year, we have to break some rules.
Okay, if you hung around for our October book haul, you know that I love Fireborn by Rosario Munda. And here are just a couple of reasons of why it's a top 2019 pick for me.
Is it about the dragons?
It's about the dragons, but a lot more than just the dragons. This book has the slow burn plot and the complexity of something like Lord of the Rings. It's just so well done that it feels kind of like what would happen if you mixed YA fantasy with classic literature. It's that good. So 2, it's a really cozy read. I don't know about you, but I grew up reading Harry Potter, and the school in this book reminds me a lot of Hogwarts, and I'm always looking for the next book to read in December and curl up with, so.
I would also really go to that school. I mean, if I weren't fearing for my life or anything.
Dragons!
Yeah.
All right, number 3, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I love how much gray area there is in this book between the good side and the bad side. Both sides think they're right, and both sides have arguments for that, and I ended up feeling really deeply conflicted by the end over it. So that brings me to my 3 words for this book, which are it's intense, it's complex, it's super fast-paced.
That's good to hear. So in my next pick of 2019, I was also very conflicted by both sides of the war because it's War Girls by Tochi Onibuchi. The writing is so immersive and it propels you straight to the front lines of a civil war that has fractured a broken country. The sisters at the center of the story are Onyi and Iffy, and they must fight to get back to each other after being separated and winding up on opposite sides. There's also a huge sacrifice at the end, and I can't keep continuing with the sentence unless I spoil something.
Don't spoil.
So I won't.
Don't do it.
And if I had to pick 3 words to describe this wonderful book, I guess that's already 1 word, but my other 3 words to describe it would be gritty, captivating, and heartbreaking.
All right, next up is Let It Snow, which is definitely a favorite of 2019 for me, and by far I think the lightest read in the bunch, which is number 1 that I love it, is we all need a change of pace every now and then, and this is it. It's light, it's happy, it's cozy.
And it's lovely.
Man. I just gave my 3 words away. 2, I think I've mentioned it before, but I have a wildly short attention span, and this book is perfect for that because it is 3 short stories by 3 different authors all woven into one. And number 3, it's December, and this book takes place during a snowstorm on Christmas Eve. There's a train, There are tiny houses, there's Twister and Waffles and a teacup pig, and
It's so cute, the teacup pig, guys.
yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and it's a great book to close out 2019.
Is there anything else you want to mention about this book?
It's on Netflix now, so if you already read the book and you already reread the book, you can go watch it on Netflix. It's
The
like
movie
this.
is so cute, you guys. You really just need to watch it.
You gotta see the teacup
And read the
pig.
book.
Let's see it. So now we're talking about our favorite books of all of 2019.
A lot of pressure, a lot of stakes, but you will not be surprised that I picked this book with its beautiful blue stained edges. It is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. No one's surprised. And to be honest, you know it's a good book when you recommend it to all of your friends and everyone who will listen, like I do. Between the fake dating in the book and the way that it tackles family, it's an unforgettable contemporary read that will give you all the feels. This book is hilarious, it's honest, it's emotional, and as an Asian American, I couldn't be prouder that this book has reached so many people.
All right, so I'm sure no one is surprised to find
No
out
one is
that
surprised
my favorite
at all.
read of 2019 is Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. The rest of this video is just going to be me explaining all 600 reasons that I love this book.
That's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, it's a lot of reasons, but I'll whittle it down to 3. The first is that it's multimedia. It's documentary style, and if you're like me and you prefer shorter chapters, this is perfect. It moves so fast, and I was never bored reading this book. Number 2, it's not just Halloween spooky. Halloween's over, and I personally read this book in the wintertime. So if you're looking for year-round spooks, it's this book, and you should definitely read it with a buddy because you're gonna need someone to talk to about it. And 3, this is not just one of my favorite horror novels, but also one of my favorite magical realism novels too. It's like up there with Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman for me. So in conclusion, read it.
And if you had to pick 3 words for this one, what would you say?
So if I had to pick 3 words, and I have a lot of words that I would choose for this one: chilling, magical, and twisty. So now that we've talked about our favorite books of 2019, I think it's time that we talk about our most anticipated reads of 2020. So what are you most excited about?
2020 is less than a month away, and one of the many books I'm excited about for 2020 is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa de la Cruz. It's an assassin love story, aka assassins falling in love, and really, what else could you want from a romance? It's a fantasy romance, and one of the protagonists, Shadow, wants nothing more than a life of adventure, protecting her home country of Renovia. And Shadow gets her chance when fate leads her to cross paths with Caledon Holt, the titular Queen's assassin, who is bound by a magical oath to protect the Queen of Renovia. As I said, it's a fantasy romance, and I swear you'll fall head over heels in love with it. It's also the first in a duology, so if you're looking for a new short series to pick up, this is the one for you.
It's got a really pretty cover too.
Look at that chalice and the colors. The book will also be out on February 4th, 2020.
And if you could pick 3 words?
3 words. Let's see. Royal, adventurous, and alluring.
Got a lot to look forward to in 2020.
Yep.
Okay, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am about this book. And you can fight me, Legend fans, but this is my favorite Marie Lu book ever.
Wow, that's a controversial opinion. Wow.
It is so magical. I would describe this book as The Cruel Prince in historical fiction with a musical twist. There's a lot going on here, and they are all good things. So that is number 1. But number 2, the cover all by itself is a reason that I love this book. It may be one of my favorite covers of 2020 thus far, which brings me to my next point, and that is, this is the Kingdom of Back. This world on the cover is exactly like the world in the book, and it's so original and so ethereal and delicate that you feel like you've walked right into a fairy tale. So basically, make sure you get in on this ASAP and make sure this is your first read of March because it's coming out March 3rd.
That's pretty soon.
It's not that far away.
Yeah. And if you had to pick 3 words for this one, what would you say?
I worked hard on my words for this one. Incandescent, musical, mysterious.
Ooh.
Thanks for joining us for our 2019 wrap-up.
We'll see all of you in 2020, and make sure to tell us what your favorite 2019 book was.
Bye.